If you're over 40 and struggling with your stubborn belly fat, there's something important you need to understand. Your body might actually be protecting that fat on purpose. And the surprising part is, it's not because you're lazy, undisciplined, or doing something wrong. In many cases, it's because your metabolism has shifted into protection mode. Let me explain what that means. Most men over 40 respond to stubborn fat the same way they always have. They eat less, they add more cardio, they increase intensity, they try harder. And sometimes that works for a short period of time. But eventually the fat loss slows right down or just completely stalls. So the natural response is to push even harder. But that's exactly where the real problem begins. You see, after 40, your metabolism becomes much more sensitive to signals of stress and instability. Work stress increases, sleep becomes less consistent, recovery takes longer, and then when aggressive dieting, excessive cardio, or long fasting periods are layered on top of that stress, the body starts detecting a potential survival threat. When that happens, the nervous system shifts into what we could call metabolic protection mode. In protection mode, the body begins conserving energy. Stress hormones like cortisol rise, energy expenditure becomes more efficient, and fat release, especially around the abdomen, becomes restricted. Now, this is why belly fat can actually feel so stubborn to lose after 40. It's not random. The body is trying to preserve energy during uncertain conditions. This is intelligent biology, not metabolic failure. The problem is that most disciplined men respond the same way they did in their early 20s. They double down, they eat even less, they train even harder, and they increase cardio. But every one of those actions increases the same stress signals that triggered protection mode in the first place. So the harder they push, the more resistant fat loss becomes. After 40, fat loss isn't driven by forcing a bigger caloric deficit. It's driven by restoring metabolic stability. Consistent sleep timing, predictable fuel timing, strategic training instead of constant intensity, and reducing unnecessary stress signals. When the body perceives stability again, cortisol normalizes. And when cortisol normalizes, the nervous system exits out of protection mode. And that's when fat loss becomes cooperative again. Now, if you're over 40 and belly fat seems unusually stubborn, the issue may not be discipline. It may be metabolic protection. Now, if you want to understand which metabolic signals are blocking fat loss for you, make sure to take the metabolic self-assessment linked below in the description or at the top of this channel. It's going to show you which metabolic switches are offline and which ones are still working. Remember, after 40, fat loss doesn't respond to force. It responds to stability. Now let's continue to rebuild your metabolism.